we head back to court for Monica Simontilli, we want to bring in our guest, trial attorney Michael Jaafar. Michael, of course, thank you for joining both of us here today. Let me ask you about this timeline of events that's been unfolding through this testimony with the detective. Do you think it's a ruse by the defendant or not? Do you think she really deliberately did all these things to throw everybody off of her involvement?
She had an affair with him. She was with him the day of the murder. She voraciously went to work with a life insurance policy. She sent him the access to the security footage in the security camera 30 days before the murder. She went ahead and cleared it. Damn, Monica Simontilli, can you be a little subtle? Be a little bit more subtle about this. This is crazy, Judge Ashley. The state's case is feeling like a boa constrictor, Judge. It's literally squeezing the life out of Monica Simontilli's defense. It's like a boa constrictor gets tighter and tighter and tighter. How many more weeks can we go through this? I think they've met their burden.
Yeah, we've talked about that, Michael and I, about how are they going to keep going through so much of the same information?
Yeah, and I think, Mike, you make a great point, because what I wanted to ask you was they're actually building momentum now. It felt like their case had hit a wall for a minute. We went days with the same type of testimony, and I was like, where's the beef? Now we got some beef. They really have to now, I think, continue this momentum. Get this case in front of that jury. Stop sort of lollygagging on a lot of information that I'm not sure you necessarily need at this point with this information.
Michael, in my notes preparing for this show, I swear to you, I wrote down where's the beef, and now I can't use it because you used it. So I completely agree. I wrote it down. I'm going to screenshot it for you later. But at the end of the day, yeah, you can tell that the state hates Monica Simontilli. They felt like she's insulting their intelligence with the cat and mouse chase she sent them on, and they were very insecure about their case because they know what Baker's going to do. Now, an admission by Baker is not enough. The defense are going to need corroborating evidence outside of Baker's testimony after Baker comes in. He needs a full-throated acceptance of this on his own, but that's still not enough. Yes, the state's insecurities have been overcome now. I think that they've performed on their promises in their opening statement. They've put this conspiracy together. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, Chris Austin, call him next. Just continue to connect those dots. All right, stand by, Mike. We're going to head. All right, folks, we're going to head back to court in just a moment. But first, let's bring back trial attorney Michael Jaafar to discuss. And Michael, do you agree with Judge? Judge mentioned right before the break that she feels like now going back to this idea that she's having this affair, sending these, mature images to her boyfriend, traveling with him. These are things that we've heard a lot of. We know what's going on. Do we need to go back to this?
I think we have to, because this is the entire case. The state are very insecure about their case. We know that they're insecure about their case because they know that they're going to face the brunt of Robert Baker saying that he did this. So every single thing they can do to put this together, because I feel convinced by looking at it. Who wouldn't be convinced looking at it? She clearly is a manipulative person. She can manipulate Robert Baker. If they weren't dealing with a defendant, with a witness on the other side who's going to say, I did this murder all by myself. If they weren't dealing with it, it would be a different story. But they're showing their insecurity in their case. But again, the boa constrictor is getting tighter the more we see these witnesses and this evidence.
I would agree with that description. I like the boa constrictor analysis. But let's talk about her. Did you notice her too twitching more, touching her face, moving around more? It's a different defendant than we've seen in the past weeks.
She is a caricature of a defendant, okay? She has no subtlety. She's the most unsubtle caricature of a defendant there is. No law school professor would ever give us an exam that says, this is how she's going to act in a courtroom. This is what she did before. This is what she did after the murder. They wouldn't give it to us because we'd all know the answer. We think it's a trick question. So I think her mannerisms are animated, but this is probably how she emotes when she realizes, hey, I got no answer for this. This really looks bad.
Yeah, and we know the jury's watching her. We always know the jury see the defendant and what they're doing. Let's head back to court now for more testimony. Detective Mitzi Roberts still